Welcome to Borderlands 3 Ultimate Flak Pet Guide. In this video, I'll be going over skills, guns, and even a little gameplay and showing you the survivability of you and your pet. So starting off with, we're going into the skill tree. And obviously, the first one will be the one about the pet. And to begin off, I have 5 out of 5 ferocity. I have one more point because of my class mod that goes in there for 60% pet damage. That helps a lot, actually. I go on to get increased gun damage, action skill duration, because I have this gamma burst. I'll explain that in a little bit. And who escorted who? Let me talk about this for a little bit. This is one of the greatest skills I've ever seen for this game. It literally regenerates so much of your health, and it regenerates so much of his health. Whenever Flak's pet deals damage, right? Flak regenerates health for a few seconds. So that passive health regeneration that you give him with this skill right here, that 50% also applies to your little puppy. And then 5% of the damage I deal heals into my pet's health. So if you're doing tons of damage, you'll see it later in the video, that you can just tank your pet, literally. This right here is very, very, very important. With the build, the class mod, and just in general, you'll see why in a little bit. But as you can see, the damage reflected, it'd be usually 15%, but I have my class mod, 20% of my damage is reflected, or any enemies that shoot my skag is reflected. So that's 1/5 of all damage is reverted back to him. Going on to this one, whenever my pet deals damage, we gain a stack of frenzy. And so basically, this is more for the skag, my pet. So that's another 40% damage. So when he's constantly attacking everything, these bonuses are very good. That's 40% damage for him, 40% damage for me. Moving on, I sort of maybe should have this skill, but I don't know. I'm very debating on it. Whenever I kill an enemy, my pet gains increased movement speed and attack damage. And it's alright. It's only 10% and 12% movement speed, so it's eh. And I do not get this one. Let me explain why. This will sometimes destroy your pet. Sometimes you'll get, you're getting melted, your pet's getting melted, your pet will just down. Easy as that, simple as that. Do not get that one. I would not recommend it. Maybe 1 point, but not that much. Moving on to the power of pet bonuses granted to Flak. So I've noticed that the pet bonuses, which are like, good example. Pet bonuses, I'm sorry. These are pet bonuses right here on the right side. So the bonuses that I get right now is 5% and 5%. If I had this at maxed out 100, it'd be 10%, 10%, which is a little bit, not that much, so not worth 5 points. Also, pet bonuses, I believe, are some skills affected, so I'm not entirely sure, but I don't have any points in there. Moving on, this one's very good. When my pet is at low health, it regains damage reduction and health regenerates. It has a long cooldown. Cooldown of 15 seconds. That's not really long. Okay. And as you see, regenerate 40% of my health over 6 seconds. And damage reduction for 30% for 6 seconds. Pretty good. Moving on to the last skill I want to get is all damage dealt by Flak and their pet is increased. Additionally, the maximum health of both me and the pet is increased. So that's a whopping 15% damage and 15% health. Going on to the Gamma Burst, because this affects your pet. So you can either revive your pet, which is also good for this build, and also it teleports your pet. So as you can see, I have a radiation aura that surrounds it, so whenever he's by an enemy, just mops up damage, and that stacks very well with Frenzy, because it's constant radiation damage. And we get this one, Endurance. So whenever I kill an enemy, or my pet kills an enemy, it's extended. So it's 3 seconds per kill, and my pet damage increased by 10%. And can do 5 times. So it's 50% pet damage, and it's our 15 seconds of skill duration, which is very good. Moving on to the health regeneration, that is very important for this build and your little puppy. Going to number 1, the self-repairing system. This is a must for Flak tanks, alright? As you can see, I get another 30% maximum health, and my health regeneration is 1.5% of my max health. So the more max health I have, the more health regeneration I have, and therefore, since I have it shared right here, more health regeneration my Skag has. And we'll get onto that even with my weapons. Ear and press, very good one. It's whenever I kill an enemy or my pet kills an enemy, the action skill cooldown time is reduced even more, and the attack command is refreshed. So, sorry about my little mumble jumble mumbling and slurring of words. So whenever I have this on, I can literally get my Gamma Burst back very quick. Moving on, we have Lick the Wounds. Obviously, it's like a must. Your pet can revive you. We all get down. Going to Turn, Tail, and Run. The reason I have this one is because, yes, gun damage and fire rate. But I love the regeneration and more damage reduction. So that's another 1% of my max health a second. And a 17% damage reduction, which is very good. Moving on to the Fast and Furious. This is just for me personally. Extra 25% gun damage. You know, might as well have it. Because with this build, you're a little lacking damage. So the more gun damage you have is the better. And a little movement speed, so you're a little more versatile. And moving on, I respect and respec so many times just to get this skill right here. And I believe it's very, very, very good skill, and it's needed in the pet build. It says, after killing an enemy, Fl4k's pet regenerate health for a few seconds. So currently, I regenerate 5% of my mixing health a second for 3 seconds. So that's 15% of my health regenerated. And my pet's health regenerates. And since we are shared, my regeneration of my health even doubles. As you can see, pets share twice the amount of health regeneration. So that's 100% health regeneration back into my puppy. Okay, that is the skill build. And I'm pretty sure it's optimized right now. And there's a few things I may have to tweak later on. Moving on to have to show you the guns. These are the guns I would very highly recommend for you to be using with the pet build, because you need high damage and you need to lay them out quick. Moving on, obviously, the Lyuda. By far, one of the best guns in the game. It should be in everyone's freaking inventory, no matter what, really. It's a beastly gun. And I have noticed that the fire version is the best, also considering there's many fire enemies. Moving on to the jackhammer. This gun is slept on. Literally slept on. I have seen a few people using it. As you can see, watch this. Reload, oof, damage, explosion, explosion, explosion. This thing does so much damage, it's ridiculous. And getting up from this gun is very easy. And see, I have 35 bullets. Yep, 35 bullets. Usually I use this other skill that extends it. Going on to the Fl4k. Damage in the Fl4k is just crazy, you know. Look at that, 4,506, alright? So that alone is just tons of damage, and the splash damage radius, and then obviously it shoots multiple pellets. So the Fl4k is definitely by far one of the best guns. I'm sure many of you guys have seen it in many builds and everything. It's just a really must-need gun. It's really easy to mob people with it. Moving on. I have not seen this gun like anywhere. Like, I don't see anyone using this. The Shredded Devil's Foursome. So as you can see what this gun does. Yep. It shoots 3 bullets like that, up, down, side, and all combined into one. So, like, let's say if there's an enemy right there. You won't hit him on that one, but, like, some of these, see? Both. Around both things. Look at that. Behind both pillars, and both of them damage. Or you can do, like, from above attack, you know? Boom. 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 Or what I like to do sometimes is just run up to people, just stuff them with damage. It's very easy. High damage. This thing does a lot of damage. As you see, it is more damage than the Fl4k, theoretically. But it doesn't, alright? Because, you know, we all know the Fl4k has multiple explosions. But look at that. 1,800 times 3. That's just insane. That's literally insane damage. That's 5,690, I believe. Tons of damage. Moving on to the Rough Rider. Now, there is a reason I'm using this shield, and it's a very good reason, and I don't think anyone actually went in depth like I do for this. Who cares about the melee damage? It reduces incoming damage by 23%, so that's another damage reduction, okay? But most importantly, it grants 35% maximum health. Like I said before, my pet gains regeneration from me. And as you see, this regenerates 1.5% of my max health a second. And I have a bunch of health regeneration. So the more health I have, in theory, well, not in theory, for a fact, that you will gain more health regeneration for your pet. So I have 10,000 health right now. And let's say it's 2% of my health a second. That's like 2,000, I think, a second. If I take it off, I put in the stop go. I can't put on. I put on a different shield. It will lower my health, and it will lower 8,000. So then 2% of 8,000 is like, we all know, obviously it's not 2,000. 2% of 8,000 is not 2,000, clearly. But we put on Rough Rider, 2% of 10,000 is 2,000. Sorry, using the 2s. I should have used a different number, but it's how it would be. If I use 3%, I'd be still 3,000 health regeneration. I mean, 300 or 3,000. I don't know, one of the two. Anyways, yeah. So that is why, and that's extra 2,000 health, and basically that's an extra 100 and something regeneration for your pet a second. So that's why my pet is so tanky, and I'll show you in a little bit. Sorry that took so long to explain, but yeah. Rough Rider shield, extra health regeneration, because it's all percentiles. Moving on to my grenade, which is the Quasar, and I'll show you why I use this in a little bit. And the Atom Bomb, jeez, the Idol. Restores 18% of my max health after killing an enemy. This insane health regeneration boost also applies to my pet. Not the 18% physically. Well, actually it does, because I have double the health regeneration for my pet, which is 100% then. And so basically every time I get a kill, my pet restores 18% of its max health. As you can see, you get 17% pistol damage, which is good, more weapon reload speed, and Kyro efficiency. The last one wasn't the best, but it's still a good one. The reason I use this one is for the aura damage and the aura burst damage and the radius. This is for the radius of my gamma burst. So for my pet, its radius is bigger and the damage is more. And obviously that's good for my pet build. So, last but not least, one of the most important, the class mods. Right now I'm using the Snowblowing Feral Red Fang, which basically means when my gamma burst is active, my pet taunts all enemies. So basically you can be taunting enemies all the time. And as you can see, I get Atlas Weapon critical hit damage, not the greatest, sniper rifle damage, and not the greatest, could be like pistol damage. But I got my Layuta, so it does buff it a little bit, and I got shock resistance. The only reason I use this one is because, look, I have the blue skills, one more 10% extra damage, and this one, which really is crazy, another 5% damage reduction that reverts the damage dealt to my pet back to the enemy. So that's actually pretty good. And moving on to my backup. This is a must also, because no one ever thought about this. I have another class mod right here. Not that one. That's just for more damage. This one. The Tribal Friend Bot. This one, as you can see, gives me pet damage 20%. It also gives extra health regeneration. Look, I'll put it in quick. It gives that ability, which is alright. If you can even double that ability, so you can have 20% pet damage and 24% pet movement speed, which is pretty crazy, I won't lie. And the pet bonuses gets increased. So as you can see, it was, well, it needs to change. For some reason, it doesn't show my pet bonuses right now. Yeah, there it goes. See, as you knew before, it was 5%, now it's 8% and 8%. You can increase this plus the 3, so you have 8 out of 5, and that's like 160%. It actually boosts up this quite a bit. Like, the gun damage on here, I think, is at like a 20-something percent. Maybe even 30. It's a good amount of damage. And, so I have the extra health regeneration. Jeez, I just spat that out so quick. So 67% of Fl4k's health is regenerated through allies, which is very good in a team fight. Otherwise, double this. 134% health regeneration to my pet, which is just insane. But the real reason I use this is because my pet's down. I might not have my ability. When I get a kill, my pet gains second win. So at this point, all I do is I whip out my jackhammer, I just start chucking them and getting my pet up, and then I go like this. If you're solo, this is unbelievably the best build. And you can just switch back to the Gamma Burst. I mean, like, yeah, the Gamma Burst. We'll show you a little action here. Let's see how long we're We are at 15 minutes. We'll do a little like 3-minute, 4-minute battle. If you want to skip that, that's up to you. But I'll show you this build in action to show you that this is an amazing build. So I'm a little stuttering doing. Oof. Also, as you can see, if I damage myself, any damage I deal. So watch this. I can't damage him. Oh, this I can. Any damage I deal applies to me. Ready? Damage dealt. He gets healing. He gets healing. He gets healing. Yo, didn't I just... Bro. Alright. So, here we go. Starting off with the pistol. Something that you guys probably want to see the most is the damage this does. Actually, we'll whip out the damage of my pet, obviously. So right there, shield's gone. And look at the reduction this guy has. Literally, well, obviously the radiation's destroying him right now. But look at all these people getting shot because of the damage reduction. Do I have the right class mode on? I gotta make sure I do. Yeah. I don't know why it's showing small numbers for damage reduction. This is 50 and stuff. Before, when I was playing earlier, it was like 500, 800 something. They must have reduced numbers or something. That's weird. That is weird. As you can see, my pet's health in the bottom left is tanking anything. And any damage I do goes to my pet. So as you can see, he is an absolute tank. I'll just leave him alone right now. I'll just leave him. And he'll just start clapping people. Wait a second, where are the modifiers right now? Oof. Okay, so that's why my damage is less on him. He says they take reduced damage from normal bullets, and considering my pet reflects all the damage that's getting reflected back to him is actually negated by a percentile. So you can see he just tanks. He can just do anything with it. We're gonna save quit. And then we're gonna run right back in, and hopefully we don't get that crazy damage reduction, because I want to show you the reflection of this damage is very, very good. %, less damage from radiation damage, but that's alright because we still have the... Well, I really want to show you the damage reduction and damage negated to the other player. So, just throw that guy out. He taunts everyone. There's a little more damage to him. I'll just leave him go around. I'll just let him do whatever. He'll probably take out all these guys. I've literally played this game, and I've just sat in a corner the whole time, and my pet beat the whole round by itself, which is pretty crazy. As you can see, he just bops kids. Done. Next one. Click on that. This is the reason I use my grenade, though. It moves them around. It'll stop the enemy from shooting and attacking. And as you see, all the damage I deal goes right back to my pet. So when I get like a grenade like this, boom, health, 92, 92, 92, all that stuff. Now, as you see, this pistol destroys. Like, destroys. Absolutely destroys. And Fl4k, there's the Fl4k. And this gun, you'll see it. I'll show you that one. Both. 34,000. And that's every time it bounces. 34. 34. 34. So if anyone gets down, just bop. Look at that. Oh, that one went away. This is the main gun you use because it does so much damage and radius. Look at that. You just go up to him, look down, done. We're gonna go down right here. That's all right. We'll just look at the pet and just watch him. All these enemies, people say he gets one shot and everything, but badasses also. My pet does not get one shot by badasses. Maybe like 3 or 4 badasses at a time I'll see him fighting, and then he'll die, but that's it. So yeah, this guy just runs around, just murks anything. And this is the reduced radiation. So as you can see, all the enemies just shoot him, and you can just do whatever you want, basically. You can bop people like that, you know. Sometimes the pet does get stuck randomly, which is unfortunate. But, yeah. Look at that, just damage. You don't even have to do anything, you just watch. Let's see how long we're at the video. Don't want to make it over 20 minutes. It's over 20 minutes-ish. We'll do this right here. Oh, you guys want to see something a little nice about the jackhammer? If I can run up here before they all jump out. Destruction. 866 damage. I mean, healing back to my pet. That's crazy. Look at that. I was 172 because I was a weaker enemy, I think. We'll see him fight. Where's a badass? Oh, maybe the badass is dead already. Front line. Well, that's it, guys. That's it. As the video, as soon as again, get this pistol. Look at this. Get that pistol. Alright, guys. Have a good day. Thank you for watching. Appreciate it.